Cliccato.
Okay. Good morning, dear students. It is with me.
Please.
Can I?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Thank you. Thank you again. Dear students, it's with great pleasure that we are here to present the notice of selection for the Erasmus Mobility 2021-2022. Even if not in presence, we are very sorry, of course, for that. And let's hope that in the near future, more or less, let's hope, will be possible to meet each other in presence. My colleague of International Relations Division will explain you in detail all the procedure. Please pay careful attention to all the details. Because there are some different aspects, even if not so more. The deadline will be February 4th. Regarding the procedure, in particular, the selection, pay attention. For the language selection, in fact, a colleague of the Language Center will be also present to this online meeting. Besides, one representative of Erasmus Student Network will take part to our meeting, so to give you precious advice for the mobility. And will inform you about a new virtual appointment that will be organized by them for the next Monday. That's very important if you can take part to this. I take the occasion just to tell you, before giving the word to my colleagues, that we are going to wait the new Erasmus program that will be launched, let's hope, in the next month for the period of 2021-2027 by the European Commission. So we are waiting the guideline that in a month will be published. We don't think that there are so many different aspects according to the previous program, but I know that in particular we will be possible to consider the possibility of some changes in mobility. In particular, it will be possible that in the new program we could consider the blended mobility. According to this particular period that we are PAX, of course, not everything is considered in a bad way. So they are considering the possibility in the near future, in the near program, in the near mobility, also to do blended mobility. So part of mobility in present, part of mobility in online. And so we are waiting to receive this news in the guideline. In this case, of course, we immediately inform you about this kind of possibility. And besides, there have also been the possibility to have a short mobility. So a mobility for a period less than before, that we know according to the rules until now applicated to the Erasmus mobility. We do not exactly know about the period. We think about a month, more or less, which we can consider eligible, probably, a mobility also of a period less than 3 months. So this news may be considered in information that we'll give you as soon as possible when we receive from the European Commission the new guideline, as I have already said to you. Besides, I just want to add another aspect considering the mobility from the United Kingdom universities. We know that according to the Brexit, United Kingdom university are not inside the Erasmus program starting from the next academic year. So you cannot find, as you have already, of course, seen, you cannot find in our offer this kind of mobility. But it seems that we can consider the possibility to have a specific money, specific funds, according to a different notice of selection, for giving the possibility to do the mobility for the university, United Kingdom University, for the next academic year. We are not that sure until now. If you are interested to this kind of mobility, you need to wait the new notice of selection if we have a confirmation from our national agency about this aspect. And I think that will be published in the next month, in February. Yes, more or less, these are the most important aspect, and I think that now it's time to pass my hand to my colleagues. But before this, it is with great pleasure that I ask our Vice Rector for International Relations, Professor Luca Verzichelli, to welcome, to do some words to new prospective mobility students, Erasmus mobility students. Please, Professor Verzichelli.
Thank you very much. Well, you say much. I don't have to add about the pleasure we have and about the fact that we always complain about the online mode of this kind of communication. After all, I mean, we complain, but we are still here, and we are here to stay. That's a good news anyway. We can go on getting this kind of information online or through conference calls. Never mind. What is important that we will get back to real mobility, and you will do, and we all will do our experience of mobility and mutual exchange, not online, because this is really what we want to do. So we are learning a lot about using these tools for communicating, but we do hope and we do work for getting real exchange in the time in the future and in the months to come. I think Annalisa Poggiolini was clear and very honest, saying that we don't know when and how we will get back, but we don't burn any bridge and we don't burn any project, and that's why we did exactly in the same time of the year with the same conditions our call for selection. We plan to have the same number or an adequate number of scholarship for what concerns the Erasmus, which is the issue at stake. But more in general, we plan to have exactly the same, if not a large number of mobile students in the academic year 21-22. We don't know exactly when and how we will be able to host and to send people, but we know that we will do. That's why we get into this kind of resiliency mood, and that's my first message. Of course, getting to you in such a strange and provisional way, it's impossible to me to say what I always say when I welcome prospective mobile students. This is probably the most important moment in my yearly annual schedule, because when I approach new students for mobility, in a way I approach what I plan to do for my life and what I think it's important for students. Many people stress the importance of mobility as a tool for getting in knowledge and enlarging the academic perspective. Other people, they stress the importance of credits and the aspect of academic career, which is of course important. I'm myself a university professor. I know that I have to grow this ambition in my students. Other people, they stress movida or whatever could be called, the importance of having good time, knowing new people and knowing new environments. And that's also an important thing. I prefer to say that mobility or to describe mobility as a state of mind. Mobility to me was something that you can do alone, and actually I like very much travel alone. I don't know if you have the same feeling, because when you travel alone and you see many things around you, you discover that you still have time to intervene. You still have time to get into new kind of knowledge. Uh, I think that then when you get out your station, you meet people, and that's another challenge, because you have to, to be strong to this adventure. So mobility is a state of mind, and I think that that's why we cannot substitute physical mobility with virtual mobility as a, let's say, unique and prevalent mode. We need to get back to real mobility, and I think that today is important to stress that, because we don't want to get back to a system of universities, communities that don't talk each other, don't collaborate, don't exchange, especially in the field of European Union. Annalisa was rightly stressing the importance of the next Erasmus, which is a new one, not only because new resources will be allocated for mobility, but we will stress in this new plan for the next 5 years or so, at least three important innovation, which is the mix of mobility and other experience, the experience that we unfortunately had to suddenly develop in these months of pandemic. The importance of mobility for all, that means mobility for students, mobility for working people, mobility for adults, and any kind of people who really want to, to go native European, to get into a real sense of multi-level and multinational identity, to keep any kind of egoism and xenophobia away. And third, mobility for getting into a new kind of culture, which is, of course, the culture of inclusiveness and the culture of respect for Mother Earth. And I think that if you do keep this as a state of mind, it's much better than focusing only on a specific personal goal, which is important, but is not a sufficient condition to be ready to go. I think that what is important is to understand that this is the real challenge for you as a generation and for all of us, because inclusiveness and Green Deal are the condition for safe Europe and to keep the planet safe. That's why I think that we need to be optimistic about the future. We worked so hard in these months. Nevertheless, we don't have the same result in terms of mobility, of course, because flights do not take off, and it's so difficult to think to the future. But we need to think to the future, and we do need that you think to your future. You don't have to burn your project, as exactly we didn't burn our project as well. That's why I think that it's important that you will be optimistic as we are, nevertheless, all the difficulties. There's a fantastic record of mobility in the University of Siena. I'm very proud of it. There's a fantastic team working hard every day to prepare mobility, even in this time of pandemic. And these people who are going to talk after me, we will present a number of feature. And as Annalisa said, you have to carefully follow this instruction in order to be competitive and ready for your experience of mobility. Thank you very much. I hope to see you in person soon, and I really want to warmly recommend to apply and to plan Erasmus or any other kind of mobility scheme for your career as a student of the University of Siena. Thank you very much.
Good morning. Thank you, Annalisa. Thank you, Luca, for the words you already said, which were full of information already. Still, I'm here together with Simona to have another kind of introduction to what Simona Shani is going to say more in concrete terms regarding the application procedure and the selection procedure. And also the colleagues from the Linguistic Center, they will give you, let's say, more practical and useful information in order to apply correctly. I want to put in evidence what we are talking about mainly during this session, because now the one of you who will decide to apply for an Erasmus scholarship, for an Erasmus mobility for the next year, now they have to take care of what is the application and evaluation procedure, because now the aim of this of your work during these weeks, which are before the deadline of the 4th of February, the work to do is to prepare a good application, which means to read carefully, to check the website of the university where you would like to go, to find out information, mainly, of course, information regarding the academic offer, in order to prepare a good application, which can be competitive and make you get a grant. To get a grant in this phase means mainly to get a destination. You will be invited during your application procedure to select 4 destinations in order of preference. I mean, from 1 to 4 destination in order of preference, finding them in the huge list you find on the website. On the website, I'm sure you already checked that because we published this list already some weeks ago. In the web page, you find 4 lists of destination. These destinations are reserved. These lists are reserved to students belonging to the different departments. So you have to go through the list which is linked to your department and check out what are the possible destinations for your possible Erasmus Mobility 21-22. The first step is to check this list and to read all the information which we publish on the tables. While we do this work of filling the tables, we try to be as accurate as possible because this information make the difference, both in terms of being selected and in terms of being able, after you have been assigned the destination, to really take part in the mobility, because those information are the one given by the host, by the partner university, and are your guideline to see if that destination, that university is the one good for you and for you to have a fruitful mobility at that university. So please check all the tables and you will see that there is an information regarding the cycle, the cycle of study to which that destination is reserved. So you can find some destinations which are reserved to all the cycles. I mean, from the first to the doctoral cycle, and some other destinations which have a less broad selection of cycles. For example, there are some universities which only offer courses to bachelor students or only to master students. So this is very important because it means that if you go to that place, if you will apply for that university, you will be able to choose only courses from that cycle, or also it can mean that you are not eligible for that place if you do not belong to that specific cycle, which is indicated in the place where Simona is showing you the selection. So this is the first information. Of course, another important information, which will be talked more extensively by our colleagues of the Linguistic Center, is the linguistic issue. As Annalise already mentioned, it is very important that you select a destination where you can take easily the academic courses, where you have a fluent knowledge of that language. So this is important under two respects. One is for the selection procedure, as the linguistic knowledge is one of the criteria on the basis of which your application is evaluated. And the other one is that if you go to Madrid and you don't speak a word of Spanish, it could be hard to attend the academic course and to have to pass the exam. So be careful to the linguistic requirements, which are, as I said before, are given by the host university. So the University of Madrid informs us that if you do not have Spanish knowledge, can be B1 level, it's not worth to go there. Yeah, you are not you are discouraged to go there. So please be careful to the linguistic requirements when making the choice of your destination. And last but absolutely not least, be careful to the subject area, because in the huge list you find, and when I talk of the huge list, I especially refer to the one which is shown by Simone at the moment, that is the economic law, political science list. And as the name says, the title says, it includes a lot of disciplines of different subjects. So you must be careful to find to select in your application a destination which is linked to one discipline which is coherent to your degree course. So you cannot choose a grant where the discipline is economics if you are students in law, because even if you are selected, because maybe you are the only one applying for that destination, even if you are selected, when you go to choose the academic course, you're going to find mainly or exclusively courses in economics, and you are student in law, so it doesn't make much sense that you make this choice. So be careful to the discipline. This is very important. Okay. Finally, still looking at the table, you find a column, name notes, name notes, where there are some additional information, which are also important. Please read them. Sometimes they refer to the fact that you are not allowed to go there for thesis research. That is an important thing that yesterday we had at the Italian session, the same meeting, but in Italian. And in the question time session, we had a lot of questions regarding thesis preparation. So the possibility to go to study for your final thesis. This is something that not all the university let you to do. So be careful, because when we know that this is not possible in some of our partner university, we try to put in evidence this in the notes column. So be so patient to read all these tables in order to make the good selection of destination. Then in a moment, Simona will tell you how to fill out the application form. So these were, let's say, preliminary information, but very important, because we think and we hope that making the application itself is a matter of filling a form that we are so used to use the web, and you are more than us as you are younger. So from this point of view, it's quite easy to fill out the application form. But what is important is to make the right choice. Also, and then I'll leave you the floor to Simona, because once that you will go fill the form, you will see that you will be at a certain moment you are requested to put a list of courses that you intend to follow and give the exam at the university you are including in your application. This means that before that you have to check on the website which courses are actually offered at that university, and to include these courses, trying to reach a number of credits similar to the numbers you would achieve if remaining in Siena. You have to include these courses, which will be evaluated. So you cannot put, for example, you cannot select a grant of 9 months length and put just one course for 6 credits. So this is not a good presentation of your application, because the one who will evaluate this aspect in your application, you can think that you really go only for the Movida, which Luca mentioned, which is a good thing, but is not a good academic reason to go to that university. So your application must be coherent in terms of what you choose and what you write in the application. To do this properly, you have to check before and to get information also by asking to the also by asking to the academic coordinator. That's something which I didn't mention, but still you find the academic coordinator for each destination in the tables we were showing before. It is okay. It is not compulsory to to go to these people, to contact this person in order to apply. But it could be a good recommendation to do that, because this person not only know or should know the host university in order to tell you, to inform you if this is the right choice, or there could be something more convenient for you. But also this person are the one who are part of the commission who will evaluate your application. So your application will be evaluated on the basis of 3 criteria. One already mentioned, which is the linguistic knowledge. The other one is the academic merit. And the one third is given by the commission formed by the academic coordinator. So if this person, the academic coordinator, have been contacted by you before you apply, it can be something good, so that they know you, they know why you want to go to that place, and this kind of thing. So it could be advisable to contact these persons too.
Tiziana, can I jump on it, because that's really relevant for
That's
me.
something you are concerned.
No, it's not concern. I like to receive messages from students, and actually there are 2 kind of messages which are exactly what you say, very welcome. One is a message like, I did not understand this. What do you suggest to me? Because I'd like to go to Canterbury. No, Canterbury now is off. I like to go to Pompeu Fabra, but I think because I want to improve my Spanish, but I think that I don't know, Complutense in Madrid is better for political science. And I can answer because university professors, are extremely keen. Well, they are lazy in many respects, but they're extremely keen to show that they command their discipline and their knowledge. So they will say, no, you should go to Complutense, and this give an idea of your motivation, which is exactly what Tiziana said. The other thing is welcome, which is not adapt, but a strong motivation per se. I would really want to let you know that if I go to Complutense, you would know already that you want to go there. But if I go to Complutense, I should draft a thesis on a fundamental archive of Complutense University. I don't know which one. And the professor will have an idea of your not only motivation, but about the fact that you have a clear project for your mobility. There's a third kind of message which is much less welcome, which is, Professor, I like to go anywhere in Spain. What you suggest? This gives an idea of a completely different kind of motivation. I let you understand what is the one behind. And in this case, try to avoid to write to the professor. But Tiziana is right. What is important is communicating any kind of doubts. Don't be afraid. No question is silly. No question is silly. At the same time, you have to avoid to make an impression that you just want to leave because you want to leave. That's not mobility. That's traveling.
Okay, thank you, Luca, for this additional but very important point of view from one of the most mentioned coordinators in our tables. So now it's time for Simona to go ahead, and then you can. I don't know if what someone said, but there should be a chat place for your questions, and now I don't see that, but you can start writing your question, which will be answered at the end of our informative session. So feel free to ask, and we will try to answer your remaining doubts after our presentation.
Okay, just to say that I'm sorry, but I have another meeting, so I need to go. And I wish to all our students the best for your future mobility exchange scheme. And okay, good work. Thank you so much.
So thank you. And so my name is Simona Ciani, and with Tiziana Gatti we run the administrative issues of the mobility. Okay, fine. So now we're going through the main subjects of the notice of selection. Hold on, I'm going to complete it. Okay. Now, okay. So notice of selection. The first steps, of course, for you is to read, to go through all the notice of selection and read it carefully, okay, with attention. As I said, so the mobility, the Erasmus for Studies mobility is it allows you to study at one of the European universities with which we have agreements from 3 to 12 months. And another very important issue is that you have to be enrolled at the University of Siena and before you leave for your mobility. If in case your enrollment, the enrollment procedure at the University of Siena is not open by the time you leave, because sometimes the academic years are open earlier in the northern countries. Well, as soon as our procedure is open, the student has to comply with our procedure. Okay, but and another very important issue is that when you start your mobility, you cannot take exams at the University of Siena, because you are at that time you are enrolled at another university. Okay, that happened in the past academic year 1920 due to COVID, but that was a very exceptional situation. Okay, now from this academic year 2021 and on, you will not be allowed to take exams in both universities at the same time. So please pay attention, because although the system, we are working on that, but although the system at this time allows you to book your exam, then and in case you take it, when or sooner or later your student's office will check your career, and if you took the exam during at the University of Siena during your mobility, that exam will be cancelled. Okay. So the application procedure. Well, you have to. I can show you. We can go through the guidance that we published, and so application online. Okay, fine. So as you see, the application online was open on January 14th and will be closed on February the 4th. So you have to go on your Segreteria online, click on the menu. Now, first of all, you have to choose for the English language. Okay, login English language. Then you have to choose, click on incoming, international mobility outgoing, mobility application. You see there are all the red arrows that you cannot miss. I think all the points, and then you have to click on the magnifier and in order to choose your area. As Tiziana already told you, all the agreements are divided into 4 macro areas. So, and in each macro area, there is a list of departments. So, first of all, you have to find out your department, and then, of course, refer to the list of destinations of your department. So you click on the magnifier, and you complete the form. Click to apply, complete the form, and now now you come to the very core of the application. Okay, here in this page you will upload all the information. So the first requirement, which is mandatory, okay, if you don't write anything in this place, your application will not go ahead. And so if this is the first time that you apply, that you want to go on mobility, you have to write the number 0. Okay. On the contrary, if this is not your first mobility in this present course, so if you are enrolled in not in a graduate, come si dice, magistrale, in the second cycle course, and you have okay, and you have already master, and you have already carried out a mobility in your bachelor course. Well, the mobility in your bachelor course is not, you don't have to consider it. Okay, so this is just the present course. So if this is your second or third time that you go in mobility in the present course, you have to write the number of months that you have already carried on in this present course. For master or bachelor courses, the maximum mobility months, Erasmus mobility months, are 12. For the long cycle course, such as pharmacy or medicine or law, well, they have 24 months available for mobility. So after that, after this requirement, you have to list your up to four destinations, listing them in order of preference. Okay, then you don't have to select the language, because it's just an information, so you don't have to choose it. While you have to write, you have to describe your study plan by listing the exams offered by the host university. So you have to check the host university offer and list the exams, the courses that you want to take at the host university. Okay, you don't have to list the courses of the University of Siena. Okay, you have to choose. You have to check the host university list. After that, you have to write what is the motivation, why you are choosing that university, and you have 2,000 characters, spaces included, available for all these explanations. Okay, so we advise you to write all this information in a Word or in a text, in a note program, and then copy into this cell. This will be so you will be able to count all the characters that you have. After that, you click on register, and in this page, you will be able to check your application. Okay, so before going on and confirm your application, confirm your registration, please click on print the draft, because in this way you will check your application. You will check your biographical data, the destination that you have chosen, your booklet, all the information. Okay, so and if you find that something is wrong, then you will have to remove the application, okay, and write to the office, I don't know, your student's office, for example, or to our email address, erasmus.out@unic.it, and ask us or them, or tell them that there is a problem, I don't know, with your booklet or with your data, and we will find out the problem. Okay, so after that, you will go through the application again. You will write again all the information as before, and you will check again your application, and if everything is fine, then you will click on confirm your registration. And so your application will have a protocol number, okay? And so you after this step, you will have to click on submit button, and you will verify the status of your application. So if the stato iscrizione, which means application status, is green, your application is fine. The system has received your application perfectly. In case the number, the color of this button is yellow, it means that you have missed a step. So you have to go through all the procedure again, because otherwise your application will not be evaluated. Okay, so please pay attention to all these steps. Okay, so we can go back to the notice of selection. Okay, then the evaluation of the application. As you see, there are three scores that will build, let's say, the final score. So one is the merit score, which is calculated with this formula. Okay, one is for the bachelor courses, and the second one is for there are three. Sorry, one for the bachelor courses, one for the master courses, and one for the PhD courses. Okay, there are these formula. Then the proficiency in a foreign language, and I will leave the floor to our colleague from the University Language Center, which will explain you all the procedures to have this score. And the last evaluation is the evaluation of the coordinator, okay, which will go through, which will read your application, your career and everything, and will give an additional score, some additional points. It may happen that the coordinator doesn't give any additional point. is fine. I mean, he can or she can do this, because in this way it means that the coordinator approve the rankings built by the system, okay, with the sum between the merit score and the language score, okay. Otherwise, the coordinator may decide that the ranking is not good, because I don't know, the student in third position is more worth for mobility than the one in first position, for example, and then the coordinator may decide to add points in order to change the rankings, okay. And so after all these evaluations, the system will cross all of the rankings, because each destination will have a ranking on its own. So all these rankings will be crossed, and it will be built a general ranking of all the assignments, destination assignments. What is about the language? Teresa Villani is going to explain all the new rules, let's say. What I can tell you is that in this phase, okay, is if you have not a language certificate, no, and the score of the language may be 0, okay, because you have no certificate to show, and your application will still be valid, okay. But of course you have to be very careful, because although you can apply, and maybe you can also win to be a recipient of a destination, but if the host university will ask you for a language certificate, well, at that time you will have to give them this document, because if you don't have it, it is highly probable, probably they will not accept, okay, your mobility. So if during the application the language proficiency is not known, the level language is not known, and you get a 0, well, please be this is not in the future. This may be a very big problem. Okay, now I leave the floor to the colleague of the University Language Center to explain the evaluation of the language proficiency.
Okay, thank you, Simona. I'm Teresa Villani, and I work at the Foreign Languages Center, the Centro Linguistico d'Ateneo, otherwise known as CLA. So we'll have a look at how your language proficiency is evaluated and counted for the Erasmus application. I'll start actually with the third paragraph. There will be no special language tests this year. In the past, we had held language tests, especially for Erasmus candidates, but this year, because of the COVID situation, it's not possible, unfortunately. Your language proficiency will be assessed through exams that you have in your career or other certifications that you have produced. This information will be extracted from our database and from your university career. Any exams must be taken and passed by January 29th. That is our deadline. So let's just have a look at this a little bit more closely. For English language proficiency, if you already have an exam registered in your career, you don't have to do anything. Also, if you've already presented a certificate to us at the Language Center, you're all set. Applicants who have not already presented a certificate must do so by sending it to us at our email for Sienna, it's info.cla@unic.it. And there's another email address for students from it. So, and please remember the deadline, January 29th. When you send the email to us, the certificate by email, please remember to write in the subject line, Erasmus application, and we will confirm receipt of your documents. These rules also apply to any of native speakers. I imagine there are some native English speakers listening now. You also have to have some kind of exam or some kind of proof or certificate that shows that you have a high level of English. If you have any problem with that, please contact us and we'll see how we can work it out. Because if all of your schooling has been in English, for example, you can present maybe a high school diploma or something similar, but you have to have some kind of certification that shows that you have a high level of English, even if you're a native speaker. Also, for the certificates that we recognize, you can look on our website. There's a table that's published, a table of all the approved certificates for the English language. So you can check that out on our website and see if your certificate might be one of these. We approve IELTS, TOEFL, Cambridge exams, and also Trinity Integrated Skills in English. Now, another important point is if you have, for example, B2 registered in your career, but you have presented, for example, an IELTS certificate that's a higher level, it's C1 level, the C1 level will be counted for the Erasmus because we have your C level actually in our database at the Foreign Languages Center. So it's no problem, you don't worry. If your IELTS was C1 level, you will get credit for the C1 level, even though you only have B2 registered in your academic career. This month, we will also be having some sessions of B1 and B2 English exams at the Language Center. The information for that is published on our website. It may be possible you might be eligible to take one of those if you haven't taken any other exams so far. As far as the other languages are concerned, French, Portuguese, Spanish, and German. Here again, if you already have one of these exams in your career, you don't have to do anything. It will be counted for Erasmus, for your score, automatically. If you believe that you have skills that are not certified, you must contact the relevant language teacher to take a test, perhaps, or an interview with them. The contacts for our teachers are on our website. For example, if you have a DELI certificate for Spanish, you have to contact the Spanish teacher. If you have a DEL for French, you have to contact the French teacher. So you can find our teachers' contacts on our website once again. Those students who have already submitted a certificate for a previous Erasmus mobility or overseas in the past few years don't have to submit it again. It will automatically be taken into account for the purposes of this ranking. So there's a lot of information on our website. Please have a look at it before you contact us. You can write us an email as well if there's something that's not clear. But we are getting a lot of mail right now, and it will take us maybe a day or two to answer. But we will answer, of course, everyone that writes to us. Obviously, any certification that you present has to clearly indicate the level of your foreign language according to the Common European Framework of Reference for Languages. And once again, I repeat, please remember the deadline is the 29th of January. Otherwise, they won't be able to be evaluated. Okay, so once the scores relating to the language assessment will be published by my colleagues at the International Relations Office, and you will be notified by email of this. So you'll have a chance, you will have 2 days to check out all the information, make sure it's correct. If there's any problem, you just contact them if there's any problem with the score that you were given. So that's basically it. If there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer them at the appropriate time. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Teresa. Thank you so much. So we'll just go on having a look at the notice of selection, just other few informations. So at the end of all these evaluations, as I told you, the system will cross all the data and will build the rankings, okay, the general one ranking of the assignments, okay, of all the destinations. And this ranking will be published, and we will ask the students to click on to choose, the semester on the Segreteria Online. And only the students who have chosen the mobilities of one semester mobility will be able to choose the semester, so the first or the second semester. While for the other mobilities, for the whole, the full year mobilities, this choice is not given. Okay, and so after that, we, I hope that we want, let's say, to organize a new event like this in order to explain, in order to give more information to the students who will leave for mobility, and we will go through again all the not again. We will go through all the procedures that the students will have to comply with after the assignment of the mobility. Okay, so we are not going now to talk about learning agreement or anything about this, because I think that it is better to explain all these steps later on, and to the real the students that will leave for mobility. What we can say now is that, as you see, the mobilities have a financial contribution. And the contribution can be a European grant or a ministerial integration. Okay, so beside the rankings, the list of recipients of mobility recipients, there will be published two more lists, two more rankings. One concerning the European grant, and the other one concerning the ministerial integration. Okay, so these rankings will be built on the basis of the sum of the merit score plus language. Okay, so the position in the ranking will be given by this sum. While the amount per month will be given by the destination. Okay, and beside the matricular number, the student may be recipient of the grant or eligible of the grant. This means that in the first case, the student will receive the grant for sure. In case of eligibility, the student will receive the grant only if he or she becomes a recipient. Okay, and this is will come true. We will be change of status will be possible only after period reductions or let's say withdrawal by other students. Okay, in this case, the grant, the money will be reallocated, and the rankings, and there will be a scrolling in the rankings. Okay, and on the contrary, for the ministerial integration, the amount per month will be given by the income code. So the students are requested to check the income code on their secretary online, okay? Because let's say by the end of March, I'm sorry, by the end of February, okay? Because we will check in the system the income code, and on that code we will give the month grant. In addition to these two grants, the Department of Philology and Literary Criticism added 6, because now we know how many scholarships they give. It will be 6 scholarships of 1,000 euros each. Okay, and the list will be, so it will be published also this list. For those students who have also the DSU grant, there is no conflict, okay, between the Erasmus grant and the DSU. So the students will receive both. For more information, please write or contact the DSU office, okay, because it is important. For those students who have special needs, usually means disability, okay, there will be also some additional funds, and a special notice of selection will be launched usually in autumn, okay, and so we will publish this new notice of selection when the national agency will give you give us information about this. So as I told you, this part of we will skip, let's say, this part of the notice of selection, because it concerns okay, all the procedures to be complied with after the assignment of the mobility. Okay, so I think that I can leave the floor to the colleague of yours, Sara, who is the vice president of the ESN Siena Jazz, or this means the Erasmus group, and she will give you some advice and very interesting informations in order to help you for your mobility. Thank you. Please.
Hi everyone. Hope everyone can hear me. I'm Sara, and as Simona told you, I'm the vice president of ESN, and today I will try to explain you what is ESN and why ESN is so important for you during your mobility. So now I will start to share my screen. Let's check if I can. Okay. Hope you can see the presentation. Okay, so I start this presentation by telling you that your Erasmus starts now. So why? Because even though now we know that we are in a period of pandemic, we are in a period of uncertainty, we want to keep the Erasmus alive, and we want to make a mobility, and we want to help you during the mobility. So why I'm talking to you, and I'm talking to you about ESN? Because ESN, the name means Erasmus Student Network. Why? Because it is a network made of Erasmus students, but also of students that are keen on making a mobility, on doing a mobility abroad. We are the biggest European student network, and you can find us everywhere. We are 528 local sections in 41 countries. Our motto is student helping students. Why? Because as I told you, I'm a student, for example, and I made an Erasmus. So now I want to keep the Erasmus alive. I want to help you during your mobility, but also before, by choosing your destination with you. We, as Erasmus students before, but as ESNers, we can help you also by making the best destination, by making the best decision that you can make that is suitable for you. Another Erasmus ESN value is uniting diversity, diversity in unity. Why? Because we, as I told you, we are a lot of students, we are many. And for this reason, we are so different between each other, but for us, it's richness. So another, for example, value is the international dimension of life, because, for example, I went to Erasmus, and when I've been on Erasmus, I traveled a lot. I made many travels, and for this reason, I had a dimension, I had an open-mindedness that helped me also by making many friends all over the world. In fact, the thing that we always say is that with ESN, you have a house all over the world. Then here you can have a map, and you can understand better where you can find us. So this is our international map. So here you can find in our international vision. Then in Italy, we are 54 local sections in 47 cities. Here you can find also Siena, our section. And we are many Erasmus and many exchange students, but at the same time, we are many active members. So all over the country, you can find us, that we will help you making your Erasmus a better experience. In Siena, we are these people, we are many students, and we are like you. We are students with, we want to help you during your Erasmus mobility. And okay, here I want to explain a little bit about your buddy system. I don't know, maybe in English you understand better what is a buddy, because actually it is like a friend of yours that will help you. Why? Because with ESN, we try to create a platform that is called Papaya. You can download it in App Store or in Play Store. And there you can type all your information. So where do you want to go on Erasmus, what you want to make during your Erasmus, and what is your home university and your destination university. And there people will assign to you a buddy. What is a buddy? So a buddy is like a friend of yours, is a person that will help you during your mobility. For example, for me, it was a very important person, because when I was there, when I was in Erasmus, he was waiting for me at the airport. So, you know, also when you are alone, it does make your experience a better experience. Another platform is called Ask Erasmus. Actually, this platform is even better than the buddy system, because the buddy system will help you when you are already in your destination country. But Ask Erasmus is better if you are, maybe you don't know which country to choose. And so for this reason, you download this app. What is this app? During this in this platform, you will have, this platform allows Italian students, but also people like you, international students, to get in touch with people who already started an exchange period. So for example, Andrea, which is one of our volunteers, he did his Erasmus in Salamanca. So maybe if you want to make your Erasmus in Salamanca, but you have no idea about what is Salamanca, how is like the life there, you can ask him. For this reason, later I will send to you also the mail where you can ask all the information about Ask Erasmus. So this is a special platform for you. The ESN card, why is so important? Because it's the membership card of ESN, of Erasmus Student Network. Actually, we always want to point to you that it's very, very important to have it, because even though it is a proof of membership, it also allows you to have a link direct, but also indirectly to Erasmus Network. For this reason, you can go abroad, you can go wherever you want, and then you show this ESN card, and then the people will tell you that you are an Erasmus student. So to learn more about this, you can visit the website, but also why it is important, the ESN card, I know you already know, it is for the discounts that we have. We have many discounts, but the most important one is for traveling. One of our main partnership is Ryanair, because it's one of our main advantages. We have a huge range of discounts with Ryanair, because you have 4 flights with the 10% of discounts, and also a free checked-in luggage, 20 kilos. So you can make 4 flights with a free checked-in luggage. And you know, for example, for me that I've been on Erasmus for 9 months, it was so important to have a free checked-in luggage. Then another discount is with Flixbus. You can have the 10% of discounts with your vouchers, so you can travel also in many countries. So you can have this kind of discount not only at the national level, but also at an international level. Another thing that we do with ESN, so if you go to your destination country and you find ESN, we know we already talked about parties, but we know that ESN is important for parties, yes, we know, but also for many, many activities that we make. One of these is sport activities. Then we make many trips. As I told you, I traveled a lot during my Erasmus experience. I traveled all over Spain, but also all over Portugal, only thanks to ESN, because I had many discounts with them. Then we make many activities with social Erasmus that we try to raise awareness on many themes. For example, the theme of education. We had a webinar, we had many conferences about, for example, the one that we did was to raise awareness on violence against women. So we make many, many things. Then other 2 activities are the city tours that for me, for example, when I've been on Erasmus was very, very important, because as I've been there, as I arrived there, there was my body that told me, you can come with me, we can make a city tour together. So we went all over the city, and he showed me, for example, the supermarket, and the main places that are very important for an Erasmus person that doesn't know where to go. A tandem also is very, very important, because you go there, you go maybe to a bar or a place where all the people meet together, all the Erasmus students meet together, and you can meet a lot of people. For example, it is very important to learn languages and to speak English, French, Spanish, whatever language you want. You can find a lot of people over there. The office is very important also. I know I already told very important for many times, but it's fundamental. Why? Because there you can meet a lot of Erasmus students. Yes, because it's the first time you arrive there, you know you are alone, you go to the office of ESN and you find a queue of people that are waiting for the ESN card. So there already you can meet new people. In order to contact us to have more information about what we do and what we make, here you have all our information. And I want also to tell you about the meeting that we will have the 25th of January. It will be on Monday from 3 p.m. till 5 p.m. And there you can have I think this meeting will be very, very important if you don't know already where to go, because there you will, you already received an email where you can find a Google form. You only have to fill it in, and there you can put your information, and there you will be asked to put if you are an ex-incoming or a future outgoing. There you will tick the possibility of future outgoing, and there they will be shown to you many things. For example, what will be your destinations. For example, I want to go to Spain and to Portugal. I will put Spain and Portugal, and then I will find on the 25th 2 rooms for me, that there will be people who went already there, already on Erasmus, already with an Erasmus experience over there, and you can ask to them all information you want. We will try to talk to you about maybe the doubts that you have, about the fact that maybe what is the budget to go on Erasmus, to find accommodation. There also you can find many information on our website and many things and so on. So I remind you this meeting because I think it's very, very important for you, and it will be so important also for your Erasmus experience. So thank you all, and I leave the word to Simona.
So thank you so much. And so I would like just to add some more information, and let's say to give you some answer to the very frequent questions that students ask to us. For example, do I have to take some? What is the number of credits to get to acquire in mobility in order not to refund the University of Siena of the grant? Well, the grant at the University of Siena is based on the period. Okay, so you can come back also with 0 grants, and your mobility will be valid, and you will not be asked to refund the grant that you have received. Of course, this refund may happen if you declare on the grant agreement a period of 10 months, for example, but you carry out a mobility lasting 5 months. Of course, we will calculate your exact grant for the period, and in that case, we will ask for a partial refund of the grant that you have received. But this is not linked to the credits that you have acquired. Another question is about the period. I mean, you see in the list of destination, there is a column with places and months. Months is the period agreed between the universities. So you may a destination may last mobility may last 5 months or 6 months or 10 months. It depends on the previous agreement signed by the university. You can decide to reduce the period, not less than 3 months. Otherwise, the mobility will not valid. But you have only upon the approval of the host university. Okay, you cannot decide, let's say, by yourself, only by yourself, to reduce the mobility. So you have to be sure that the host university agrees with the period reduction as shortening. At the same time, you may decide to add months to extend the period. At the same time, you have to have the approval by the host university and the coordinator in Siena. Of course, the mobility cannot be longer than 12 months. As you see from the notice of selection, the extension usually are not paid. So we approve the time extension, but is rarely we are able to cover also the grant to give additional grant for the additional period. You can withdraw at any time your mobility, and this withdrawal will not affect your eventual future applications. And of course, as I told you before, if the student is a recipient of a grant, this grant will be reallocated to the eligible students. So I think that another point that I would like to stress is, as Tiziana told you before, about the column, the note column in the destination Excel file. It is also very important for those students who are not European students, because please check very carefully in the website of the host universities of your interest by looking for the I don't know, exchange students webpage or international webpage or Erasmus webpage, because in there you will find this information, because sometimes the not European students are asked to have how can I say, some money on their bank account, a minimum amount on your bank account, and they are asked to prove, to give evidence, okay, of this amount in their bank account. Otherwise, they are not accepted for mobility. Okay, so please go through that column, because there are very important information. And anyway, check the web pages of the host universities of your interest, both for this particular information, for visa information, if you need, if you are not an European citizen, so you will need a visa to get to enter the country. And so please check all the information about this procedure, because it is very important. After that, I think that we can answer some few questions that I can see in the chat in YouTube. Tiziana, have you something to add? Okay, so we can go. Okay, so okay, we can. Okay, I can add. Let's say the general steps of the mobility. So the first step is the application. Okay, then we will publish the rankings. Probably, I hope by the end of February, beginning of March. Probably, because but we don't know, because you know the procedure there are many procedures to comply with. There are many offices involved in this game, and all these steps take time. So I think that we will be able to publish the rankings by the beginning of March. After that, you will be asked to choose the semester, the mobility semester, and we will then send your name with all the information and the mobility semester to the host university, to the host universities. The host universities are, if in case the student who has once a semester mobility, not a full year mobility, but a semester mobility, in case the student does not choose the semester, well, we will nominate him or her for the first semester. Okay, then in case the student will changes his her mind and wants to live in the second semester, they will get in contact with the host university and agree, okay, with them on the semester. But anyway, after the nomination, students living in the first semester and for the full year will be contacted by email by the host university, because they will have to comply with the application procedure again at the host university. So they will be asked for a list of documents, and every university has its own procedure. So there is not a fixed procedure. Okay, some can ask for the learning agreement, some other, I don't know. And so the student will have to comply with this procedure, sending the documents as the host university ask to do it. Okay, and in the time and complying with the deadlines of the procedure. This is very, very important, because if you miss this, if you fail in with this procedure, you will not be able to carry out your mobility. Of course, on the other hand, the students who have chosen the second semester mobility will be contacted by the host university, usually at the end of summer or beginning of autumn, because the second semester procedures are started later on. I think that it is more. This is the all the steps or the time schedule of the mobility. But okay, as I told you, we want to organize a new meeting like this one just after the publication of the rankings, in order to give additional information to the students who have won who are the winner, let's say, of the Erasmus mobility. Fine. So after this, I think we can answer to these a few questions. The first one, well, I read it for Tiziana, maybe as she carried out some years ago the Erasmus mobility. Maybe she can answer better. The first one is, what is the impact of this Erasmus on an international student after graduating from UNIC?
Thank you, Simona, for passing me this interesting question. There are huge researches about the impact of Erasmus on the students, and I would say, maybe Sarah can help me with that. I would say that
Yes.
the impact is considered always positive under many points of view. Of course, it's easy to say that from a cultural and personal point of view, this is a great experience, even if today we are talking to students who come from far away. Let's say in general, we find out that you come from very far countries, so you already have an open-minded and international experience on your shoulder. But of course, Erasmus is a kind of scheme, and it's not by accident that this program has been considered the most successful program of the European Union. If you compare the cost of that in terms of money, of resources, to the exit, to the results which were achieved through the Erasmus program in terms of mixing people, of creating new things, of collaboration issues and this kind of thing. So Professor Verzichelli is no more with us, but he is also a great supporter of this kind of attitude and information. So coming to more practical and practical terms, there are, as I said, there are research which say that if you present your curriculum to an enterprise, to a company, and in your curriculum it is mentioned the label, the word Erasmus, both if you talk about the Erasmus for Study program and the Erasmus for Traineeship program, when you mention the Erasmus, this is a very recognizable word, which means that you are open to new experiences, you are open to compare yourself, to put yourself in trouble somehow, and so to solve the problems that could come out from this experience, which includes both a personal impact and an academic impact, because when you go to another university, you are used to study and pass exam in your university. You go to another academic contest and you find that it can be very different under many point of view. So this means to the human resource that you are used to solve problems, and you are not scared by new things and new contest. So I don't have data to confirm what I'm saying, but maybe Sarah, I saw that she was saying yes with the head when I was talking, so maybe she has some testimonials or some examples of people. We also have people who went abroad and then found their way, their work, their job, their life in the foreign countries. Some brilliant examples, some very important success stories. If you go into the web and you search Erasmus success story, you will find that there are many witnesses of this success. So Sarah maybe can help me with this question.
Yes, I was going to tell you that actually I think one successful story was my story, because before the Erasmus, I was a very shy person. I had like a fear of doing everything, also in the academic field and also in the personality field. I think in an academic field, for me, for example, going to Spain was a very challenging thing because I didn't know Spanish at all. In my university, they didn't ask me a certificate. So for me, I went there. I had no idea of what to do and what to make, but I had many people with me that helped me during my experience. So for me, it was a very challenging thing, but also from the academic point of view, it was a very advantage that I had, but also in a personal point of view. When I finished my Erasmus, I was another person. I was a person more open-minded. I had the skill of the problem solving that everyone now in every enterprise, in every company asks you. People ask you the team leading, the public speaking. Before going on Erasmus, it was impossible for me for thinking to make an experience like this. For example, I'm speaking to you today in streaming, and for me before I was like, no, it is impossible to make this. I will be so afraid. And actually, my experience, for example, helped me open to me a lot of doors. As I finished my Erasmus, I graduated, and then I was offered 2 jobs. So because people told me, okay, you made an Erasmus for study of 9 months, and then I made an Erasmus for traineeship of 2 months. So these were skills that people today don't have. So people were like, okay, do you want to work? Do you want to work with us? So I had many doors that were open to me. So I know that it's a challenging experience. It's not so easy because it's important to tell you, but then when you finish your Erasmus experience, you are a new person, and it's open to you a lot of doors and many experiences that you can make.
Yeah, if I may add just one data which came in my mind while you were talking, still we can consider the Erasmus, even if it's so popular that everybody knows what we are talking about. Still, for example, at the University of Siena, to speak about something that we know closer, we have around 16,000 students enrolled, and each year we send only 350 students of Erasmus for study students. So if you compare these two numbers, you see that the percentage is quite low. And we can also add that as we manage the Erasmus program through the Erasmus National Agency, so we got the data from all the countries from time to time. We are informed about the situation of the country, and we are among the most sending university. We are not at the top, but still we are in a quite high position. So it means that in the end, not many people do this experience. So of course, in a curriculum, this is noticed, is something which can make the difference, I think.
Fine, thank you so much. So, okay, let's see. Okay, this is Mandy was already answered by Teresa, and so I'm asking when can I'm asking when I can't take the exams of the semester in Siena, after the registration of the application or after the announcement of selection and acceptance. No, well, the exams in Siena cannot be taken during the mobility. Okay, so you can take exams until the day before leaving for the host country. Okay, but after the date, because you will be asked you will have to give to the host or university a document called Erasmus certificate, in which the university, the host university, will write your mobility period. Okay, so the starting date and the ending date of the mobility. So if you start your mobility, let's say on the 15th of September, so after that date, you cannot take exams in Siena. Okay? So of course now you can until that date. Of course you can book your exams and take it and take them. Okay, so I missed that. Do we also have to apply at the host university? Yes. As I told you, after the nomination, after we have sent your name to the host university, you will be contacted by the host university, and you will be asked to send some documents, okay, which differ from university to university. And you will be asked to send some documents by a certain deadline. Those deadlines are listed in the destination Excel file. Okay, before the note column, there are two columns, which is applications deadline. Those deadlines are set from the host universities. Okay. But anyway, you have, please anyway check all this information on the host university web pages, because sometimes they may change deadlines and information and language level, and sometimes we don't know about it. So we, of course, we give you the information we have, but please check them on their web pages. Okay. In addition to this, in the web page Erasmus for Study, at the bottom of the destinations Excel files, we added another Excel file with the information we obtained by the host universities. Okay, so in there you will there are some links, and there may be a link for the fact sheet, the updated fact sheet. Some of them we collected, some of them in a page on the University Cloud, and in the web page you find the password to this cloud page. Okay, so you can visit, you can check it, you can check this page and go through to all these fact sheets in which the universities give their updated information. Okay, so if I want to go on traineeship Erasmus, when should I apply? Okay, this is and how can, okay, so traineeship, well, the Erasmus for traineeship, it is another mobility with another application procedure and another notice of selection. So there is a web page dedicated, which is named Erasmus for traineeship, and in there you will find all the information. You can, of course, write, so in there is, as I told you, the notice of selection, also a page named offers, in which we give some helps in order to find the host organization, because the host organization has to be searched and chosen by the student. Okay, and the student has the whole Europe at disposal. Okay, except with the exceptions of the European government offices and some organizations which are not which we don't consider eligible, and the list it is in the web page. Okay, and anyway, you can write to erasmus.out@unic.it for additional information. Okay, and then let's say, okay, traineeship is okay. Right now I have no class certificate of English. Will I have to attempt a class test in upcoming date as they announced? Will I am able to apply Erasmus program? Okay, so please address write to CLA, okay, to the email address that you find in the notice of selection, to find out if you can book the exams to be taken in the next days, because actually I don't know if the deadline is already expired. So you can write to them and find out if you can take the exam, the language exam, or address to the language teacher. Okay. Okay. At present, I'm done with the questions. So I think that everything was very clear, because the questions are very few, and so I hope you enjoyed. Okay, please, Tiziana, sorry.
As we have some remaining time, I take the chance to say thanks to my colleague Simona, who put all these working, and of course Sarah and Teresa and all the colleagues from the Linguistic Center who are always so collaborative. But I also take the chance to invite the students in order to help Simona to work better, not to apply at the very last moment. So please, the deadline is the 4th of February. Don't go to to do that at 11:30 of the last day, please, because at midnight the system closed and there is no possibility to apply again. So if there are problems, if you find some technical things which do not work properly, if you do it at the very last moment, you don't have the chance to send us an email and tell us that you have problems. So please do it some days in advance. There is no prize, no additional points if you do it. It's not first come, first serve. But at the same time, if it doesn't work, then we don't have the time to help you properly. And then there are problems and additional work to us and mainly to Simona, who is much more technical oriented than me. I'm very bad with that. So this is my really kind request to do not apply at the last moment and to do it at the best of your possibility. And thank you for being with us. And that's all from me.
Thank you. Yes, I would like to add, as stressed in the notice of selection, if you experience technical problems at the very end of the deadline, well, we will not, as Tiziana told you, we will not be able to help you. And once the deadline and once the system has closed the procedure, we can do nothing. Okay, so we cannot, we will not extend the deadline. We can do nothing. So again, please check very carefully your application status, as I told you before, and please be sure that the green check the green color of of your status, and so you will be sure that your application was received by the system. If the status is still yellow, we can and the deadline expires, then your application will not be considered, and we can do nothing for you. Okay, so again, so thank you so much to all of you and for your attention. I hope you enjoyed this event, and so good luck for your application. Good luck for your mobility, and we hope to meet you in person soon. Okay, and everything is solved. Okay.
Thank a lot. Thank a lot
Thank you
to all
so
of
much.
you.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oi.